Hello, my dear students, welcome to science class. Today we are going to learn a new lesson, that is transportation in animals and plants. So, this is chapter 11, transportation in animals and plants. Dear students, we all know that there is a transportation system in our body. Just think about plants. When we think about plants, we know that the roots are taking water. Okay, so when roots are taking water, it doesn't mean that only the roots will keep the water with itself. It has to give it to all the other parts of the plant. So the water should be transported from one place, from the roots to the stem, to the leaves, to the flowers, and to the fruits. In the same way, the leaf which prepares the food, the leaf doesn't keep it for itself. The food has to be transported to different parts of the plants. So, this is in the case of plants. Likewise, in the case of animals, human beings, and other organisms, also there is transportation system. The food, the water is transported. And do you know what is the means of transportation? For example, in the road, we can see the means of transportation will be a two-wheeler, four-wheeler, or whatever it is. But in our body, in the body of animal, that the mode of transportation is blood. Understood? So the blood will carry the food, water to one part of the body to the other parts of the body. So today we will learn about transportation, and that in that the first thing what we are going to learn is about blood. So the transportation system in our body is called circulatory system. Okay, the transportation system in our body is called circulatory system. Circulatory system consists of heart, it is an organ, and you can see all the blood vessels, the blue and red color blood vessels, they are called blood vessels. Understood? So these form a circulatory system, that is heart and blood vessels. So you can see the vein, artery, isn't it? So they are the names given for the blood vessels. So all this constitutes of circulatory system. So we all know that we all have seen blood, isn't it? If there is a cut or wound, you can see the blood coming outside from our body. So today we are going to learn what does our blood constitutes of. So see here, circulatory system consists of blood, blood vessels, and heart. And your blood is made up of, first one is plasma. Okay, so the blood is made up of a first thing, that is plasma. What is this plasma? Plasma is the liquid part of the blood. Okay, so the blood is in the form of liquid. It is liquid form, isn't it? It is not solid. It is liquid. That is why it is flowing inside our body. So because it is a liquid, it consists of more amount of water. Understood? And the liquid part of the blood is called plasma. Okay, and then when we tell of the next component, so we are learning about the component of blood. So component means what is inside the blood. The first thing is the liquid part is called plasma. The next is red blood cells. So you can see in the picture, okay, the red blood cells. So see the cells, how it is in the form of oval shape. Okay, and it is a cell, but this cell does not have any nucleus. Okay, it is a cell. So red blood cells, these cells are very important because they carry oxygen to all parts of the body. So we all know that this red blood cell is having the color red. And why it is red? Because it is having a pigment called hemoglobin. So what is giving the color to the blood? Okay, what is giving the color to the red blood cell? It is hemoglobin. So hemoglobin is a pigment that gives color to the blood, and this hemoglobin helps to carry the oxygen. Okay. The next comes that white blood cells. See here, this is white blood cells. It looks something like it is something like a amoeba. Okay, you have learned that the amoeba will trap the food, engulf the food. Okay, with its pseudopodia and all last year. In the same way, sorry, not last year. The second chapter, I think. Okay, digestion in animals. digestion. So in that we have learned about amoeba also. So in the same way, the white blood cells, it will fight and kill the germs that may enter inside our bloodstream. So white blood cells, it is something like a army. Okay, there are so many white blood cells in our blood. So whenever any foreign particles or any germs or any disease causing microbes enter our body, it will engulf it, it will kill it and engulf it. Engulf means it will eat it. Understood? So that is what kill and eat. So white blood cells helps in protection from diseases. The next is platelets. Okay, so the platelets is something like, see here, it is something like a fiber like structure. Okay, and what does it do? Okay, it helps in blood clotting. Okay, so platelets helps in blood clotting. How? See here, forms caps when you cut yourself. So whenever you can when you whenever you cut our body, or whenever any because of any wound or any cuts, you can see blood coming outside. After sometimes, within a few seconds after, you can see that if the cut is very small, within a few seconds you can see the blood stops coming outside. Okay, why does it stop? Because these platelets will form, will join together and form a mesh. Okay, will form a mesh. Mesh means what? It forms a network, and it won't allow the blood to come outside. Okay, okay, so it forms a barrier and does not allow the blood to come outside. That is how the blood stops coming outside. So if you imagine the blood without platelets, okay, if there was no platelets, what will happen? The blood will be it will be continuously coming outside, because it is a liquid. How water flows if there is a pipe cut? Okay, it would have continuously flown outside. But because of platelet, because these platelets, okay, very soon, if it is exposed to air, what will happen? It very soon, it hardens and forms a mesh and does not allow the blood to come outside. And that is how it is playing a very important role in stopping the bleeding. Okay, that is called clotting of blood. It clots the blood. This is the components of blood. So what all components we had learned? We had learned about red blood cell. First is plasma, red blood cells, and that red blood cells consists of hemoglobin. Okay, then we learned about white blood cells, and fifth one is platelets. So now we are going to read all together about blood. Blood is the fluid which flows in the blood vessels. So where the blood is flowing? In the blood vessels. So it is having a separate pipe, okay, and that is called vessels, blood vessels. The fluid part of the blood is called plasma, which contains cell of various kinds suspended in it. See here, the blood, the fluid part is called plasma, and in the plasma, what is there? There are so many cells. Likewise, we learned about RBC, WBC. RBC means red blood cells, WBC means white blood cells. All platelets, all are suspended, all are in plasma, all are suspended in plasma. Suspended means what? It is not settled down, it is flowing. Okay, suspended means it is not, or because of the weight, these cells are all not settled down in the blood vessels. No, they are flowing in the blood vessels, so it is called suspended. See your next point. It transports substances like digested food from the intestine to other parts. So we learned that in the digestion, we learned that the digestion of food is completed in the intestine. And in the intestine, what is there? A villi-like structure. From that villi-like structure, the food get entered into the blood, and the food will move from the intestine to all the parts of the body, isn't it? So like that, see, what will transport? It transport. It means blood transports substances like digested food from the intestine to other parts. So it is doing a great job now. It is transporting what? Food. That is how we are getting energy. And next what? Not only it carries food, it also carries oxygen. I told that hemoglobin that is present in the red blood cells will carry oxygen from the lungs So from where it has to carry the oxygen? It has to carry the oxygen from the lungs to the cells of the body. Understood? So the blood is having what? Two things. It is having food and also it is having oxygen. So both they are carrying it to the cells, to all the cells. There are so many millions together of cells, and to all the cells it is giving the food and oxygen. And not only that, when it gives the food and oxygen to the cells, and the cells will in back give what? All the waste product after undergoing respiration. Okay, aerobic respiration will happen in the cell, cellular respiration. So after that, the waste, that it may be a carbon dioxide. Okay, so cells will take oxygen and give outside what? Carbon dioxide. And what all waste that is coming out from the respiration, from the cell, it carries here. It transports waste for removal from the body. So from where we are getting the waste? From the cells. Okay, cells will give out waste. Okay, so it is blood is taking all this waste, and it is going to the kidney, especially it goes to the kidney, and there it is purified. Again the blood gets purified, and from the kidney what will happen? All the waste like urea, okay, it may be carbon dioxide is again going to the lungs and it is purified, and in the urine there are so many waste, understood, that is removed. And next you see in the blood what was there? RBC was there. RBC contained red pigment called hemoglobin. Hemoglobin binds with oxygen and transport to all the body parts. We have told you here oxygen. Who is carrying oxygen? Hemoglobin. Then see white blood cells fight against germs that may enter our body. It is very important. Now, next is platelets. Help in blood clotting. Understood? Blood clotting means help in the stopping of the blood flow. Okay. So this is what about blood. Okay. Very importantly, I hope you understood about blood, isn't it? So what is the function of the blood? What are the 5 components of the blood? The first is plasma, second is red blood cells, and in that we have to remember about hemoglobin also. Next is WBC, and the fifth one is platelets. So 5 components are there in the blood. And what is the function of the blood? It carries digested food and oxygen to all the parts of the body, and also it carries the waste and removes the waste from the body. Okay, and it is done by the kidneys. And now we are going to learn about the blood vessel. So what is blood vessel? It is a pipe-like structure that help the carrying of this blood. And in this blood vessels also there are many types. There are not many types. Actually, mainly it is only 2 types. Okay, we will see what are those. They are arteries and veins. Arteries and veins. So these are the 2 types of blood vessels. So if you want to see the picture, see it is a pipe-like structure. If you cut the pipe horizontally, understood? So this is how. See, can you see the pipe? Yes. And see, why I am showing this picture is, see, can you see the arteries? It is very thick. The wall is very thick. See, the wall is very thick. Okay, the hole is small. And what about veins? The veins, the wall is thin and the hole is big. So, and what is the difference? Arteries will carry pure blood. It is carrying pure blood. Pure blood means the blood which is rich in oxygen and glucose, that is food. And why it is called, these veins are carrying impure blood. Why it is called impure blood? Because this blood will be having the waste that is from the cell, that is carbon dioxide and other waste. Okay, remember that. Now what are the other differences? Arteries, because arteries is carrying pure blood, I told now, that is why it will take the blood from the heart. See here, direction of blood flow away from the heart, it goes away from the heart, and veins towards the heart. This we will learn when you learn about heart. Next topic is heart, you will come to know. So arteries will carry blood from the heart to all the parts of the body to give oxygen. veins, what will happen? It will bring the carbon dioxide to the heart to give to the lungs again. So what is the pressure? The pressure in the arteries is very high and the pressure in the veins is very low. Okay. Okay, pressure is high and veins is low. Why the pressure is high here? Because it is coming away from the heart, because heart will pump the blood now. When it pumps with the pressure, the blood will go with high pressure. Okay, so because it is coming to the heart, it is coming with low pressure. Okay, don't get confused. When we learn about heart, we will learn about that. So we learned about two types of blood vessels, that is arteries and vein. That is what we learned, we saw in this picture. Okay, arteries and veins. So arteries is always shown with red color because it is carrying pure blood. Why it is called pure blood? Because it is having oxygen. Okay, and vein, it is shown in the form of blue color because it is having impure blood. It is having the blood with the carbon dioxide. So that is why. So now there is one activity, that is by of seeing the pulse. Okay, so place the middle and index finger of your right hand on the inner side of your left. Here the number of beats, that is beats means throbbing movement per minute, is called pulse rate. Okay, the number of beats per minute is called pulse rate. So whenever the heart beats or heart pumps, you can feel this pulse. So a resting person usually has a pulse rate between 72 and 80 beats per minute. So this is the pulse rate of a resting person. So if you run or if you have a brisk walk, so the pulse rate will change. Understood? It will increase. So that is how we can, there is an activity given here. The name of the person, pulse per minute. You can see the pulse rate of different person and it is calculated per minute. In a minute, how many pulse movement you can feel, that you can write. Okay. So you can hear one schematic diagram is given. It will tell about your arteries and veins. So you can see the artery now. Okay. So this is coming from the heart now. Yes, it is coming from the heart. And what is this? Can you see this word capillaries? Okay. So here you have to remember that there are three words. That is arteries, veins and capillaries. What is the meaning of capillaries? So capillaries means it is also a blood vessel, but this blood vessel is very thin. For example, when you see the hand, you can feel that you can see the blood vessels, na? Just you can see some blood vessels near your wrist and all. But when you see the finger, can you see your blood vessels? No, because there in the finger there is also blood flow. There is blood vessels there, but you cannot see that. We cannot feel that there is you cannot feel that there is a large blood vessels in that finger part. Why? Because there the blood vessel is very thin. Okay, there is very thin blood vessels there, and that thin blood vessel is called capillaries, and that is what. Okay, so capillaries will actually arteries and veins, they are in the they are covering the body, but these capillaries, they move inside the tissues and cells. Actually these capillaries are moving inside the are there inside the tissues and cells, because large blood vessels cannot move inside tissues and cells. Okay, so that is what. So arteries, it is bringing the blood from the heart to all the parts of the body. From the body, the veins is carrying the blood to the heart for and it will carry it to the lungs. Okay, this all we will learn in the next in this topic, that is heart. Okay. See here, the blood donation. Hundreds of people died due to unavailability of blood. Voluntary blood donation is harmless and painless and can save precious lives. Blood can be donated at hospitals and other places authorized by the government. Donated blood are stored with special care in blood banks. So that is about blood donation. So blood, if you donate the blood, it is not harmful to your body. It is very safe, and it can also save many lives. Okay. So till I am going to finish the lesson. So tomorrow we will learn about heart.